Hello, hello, hello. So I had this hat on for the Instagram live because the camera was at a different angle because I was on my phone. But it was not really the plan to wear it. Oh, that's cute though. It's my witch hat. It kind of does go with the outfit, doesn't it? Ooh, I'm not going to let go of those yet. I kind of want it off though. So yes, my little witch hat. It's a good one. Anyways, let my head breathe. Hello, Illuminaughty Mystex, live for Valentine's Day. It's after midnight where I'm at, so that means it's officially Valentine's. Happy Love Day to everyone. I brought my anatomical heart down here to celebrate. So you'll notice I am using a deck that has only been seen once on my YouTube channel. It is my pink deck. It's pink. It's very metallic. It's a strange material. Don't know how to describe it. It's almost like little thin sheets of tin. They're a little more difficult to shuffle, so don't mind me. Oh, as I drop one. But they are exclusively for love readings. They were gifted to me by my lover. And I decided that I would dedicate this deck to love. It is a Rider-Waite with a metallic finish, basically. So the Rider-Waite deck, although I have been studying it, it is a lot different than the Thoth deck that I'm used to using. So I am still getting familiar with these cards, but I just wanted to debut them for Valentine's Day. I did a short pull with them right after Christmas when I first got them, but tonight on Twitter was really the first time I ever did a full reading with them. I also did a reading on Facebook, and then I did do a live on Instagram with a friend, Manic Pixie Homegirls for Life. Yup. All right. So it looks like just me and you, bud. Don't feel obligated to stay, by the way. I don't get hurt. Oh, we have a joiner. Hello. All two of you. Ready to hear about love lives? The way that I've been doing the readings tonight is that it's not specific for singles or relationship or any other phase. I'm just doing a general feeling. I think it can apply to any situation that you're in. And so far the messages have sort of been different, but it seems like the theme really is putting yourself first and understanding that it's kind of okay to be okay even if the other person isn't, or if you are single, or I don't know how else to explain. It does seem like love is present or on its way. If you are in a relationship, it seems like a much higher love, a very deep connection, very good sign for relationships. If you're single, I think whether you're looking or not, it sounds like love is around the corner. Granted, it's Valentine's Day, so Cupid might be shooting his arrows, but at the same time, fuck it, right? What's going on in the love life of everyone? I have 4 cards on the table now. Whoa. Shoot out. I mean, my cards kind of always shoot out, but these go a lot further because of this material. They're very, very beautiful. Woo. Lots of reverse cards. Earlier, I totally spilled them everywhere. So I just feel like there's a lot of chaotic energy surrounding romance being in the air. Yeah, we'll see about that. These are all face down. So I'm really looking to get 3 and 2. Three and 2. Thank you. Ooh. 2 and 2. Thank you. Two. Thank you. Why did it look like 2 came out, but there's only 1 here? That was weird. Guessing, well, yeah, I'll do it. Oh, I don't do reversed for these. One more. Wait, it did. Nope, that's not the card. I swear there was 2. That's okay. One more. One more. One more. I really feel like there's another one on the floor, but it's alright. We'll figure it out later. One more. One more. No, I'm going to pull it. I'm thinking about some things. I know it's been 6 minutes already. You are a trooper, my viewer. I appreciate you, and hopefully there's a good message. My heart, it feels like butterflies in my stomach. Not sure why. Lots going on in my mind. Oh, wow. It could be this. Could easily be this. So the way that I had it set up earlier for the last reading I did, the Facebook reading, you can check that out again. Very similar messages throughout the evening. This side is really about the singular person, the viewer, okay, where you're at. And this is going to be, which is very hard to see. Again, these are new for me. They're very reflective, so I have not mastered the lighting with them. But this is going to be more about 2 different people in relationships, soul bonds, situationships, etc. Okay. And then in the middle is the situation or what's going on amongst people in the romantic department. And let's check out the bottom of the deck. Ooh, 4 of Cups. Okay, he's kind of refusing an offer here. He's just like, nope, can't tempt me, can't satisfy me, not doing anything. And it is funny, it's only the 3rd time reading these. Set the deck in front of this one, and I feel like this is very similar energy here, this 4 of Cups and this Knight of Swords. I would also say that would be the masculine coming through for sure, so I'm going to mark this masculine and this feminine now. When I say masculine and feminine, you can apply that to the roles that you play in the relationship, the gender of the people in the relationship, or the elements of the signs of the people in the relationship. Air and fire being the masculine, earth and water being the feminine. If it's not super obvious which one's which, you can always do it that way, okay? If not, it's going to represent whoever it represents, if that makes sense. So up top, to be honest, I really would like to light incense if that's okay. Red rose, I ordered some incense. I got bulk hem, such a good investment. I know they're not the best, but I love them. Got a shit ton, but I pulled these aside specifically for the YouTube live. I wanted to light a red rose. Also, part of the reason that I am doing the pink deck well, it's obviously a love reading because it's Valentine's Day, but the pink deck will not be featured on the channel. I am reserving the pink deck for Patreon and OnlyFans, which I launched today. The love readings will be posted weekly, and it will also feature sexual, magic, tarot. So I can't actually show these on most of the platforms, if you know what I mean. So there will be links. Tune in and see what I've got coming up on those. Okay. There will still be tarot readings on the YouTube channel, and of course I might go live once in a while. It's just the different decks, and there won't be as much romantic content or information about relationships in the general readings on the YouTube channel. So I'm doing one little hurrah, and then it'll be switching platforms for the love readings. So thank you for tuning in and everything. So we have the Page of Wands. Soft deck, the face cards are Knight, Queen, Princess, and Prince. In most tarot, it's Knight, Queen, Page, and no, I'm sorry, King, Queen, Page, and Knight. So I'm still getting used to these cards. Feedback is always appreciated. I never really learned the Rider-Waite until I got these, so I'm doing my best, but I'm really just feeling it as I normally do with my cards. Yeah. So the Page of Wands, I'm just seeing this guy sort of trying to prepare himself. You know, he's standing there, he's sort of ready for something, maybe not sure exactly what he's ready for. He's not making any moves by any means, but he is just sort of done wandering, chosen a position, and decided to stay there. So again, this is going to be about the self, whereas this is going to be the relationship dynamic, and this is going to be the situation in love. So you're feeling this way, like, I'm in my place. This is my place. And then we have the I thought that was the High Priestess. It's the Knight of Swords, King of Swords. That's going to take some getting used to for me. So we have the King of Swords. He definitely has some authority. You know, he's hardworking, as always. He is seated at the throne, but he still has his sword drawn because he is not necessarily relaxed just because he lives in luxury. Okay, he's still working for his kingdom. He's still putting in his efforts and whatnot. Could represent the masculine in the situation, regardless of if it's you or them. But either way, this person, in some regard, is dedicated. So it could be that your partner is very dedicated to you, or you're very dedicated to the situation. Just reiterating, like, yes, you're here, but yes, it still takes work. And that's okay with everyone. And then we have the Six of Wands. So it's almost like he's making a delivery. You know, he's bringing it. Six of Wands, sort of like, you know, you can't stay in one spot forever. So it's going to be about balancing and learning how to be committed like this. Understand that there's always going to be work that needs to go into it, and embracing the journey ahead and continuing forward regardless of how much work it takes. I have a face down card here, so we'll see what that is, but then it's the Fool. Just to like double down on that kind of thing. It's the beginning, right? He's 0, so he's ready. I mean, this motherfucker's about to float into the ocean. He's just going for it, and there's probably a long road ahead, regardless of if it's with the other person or on your own. There's a road ahead. And I think you may not know it yet, in a sense, where something may have not started quite yet, and that's what this face down card is here, is there is some sort of obstacle or blockage on this path, okay? Because we have the King of Pentacles in reverse. So when the King of Pentacles is upright, it's very stable, very charming, very put together, very attractive, very, I almost said elusive, but I think in the reverse, he's more elusive. It's more of an unattainable than an attraction. And so it's almost like someone's unavailable to you or in the situation. However, the Two of Cups is still here. And it was funny, we had a little bit of a discussion on Instagram. I pointed out that this symbol, although it is not the Hermetic symbol used in the medical field, it was the first thing I thought of. And I still don't know if Hermes is Cupid's dad. I feel like Hermes is Cupid's dad, but I don't know where I'm getting that from. I'm not very well versed in Greek mythology. I also don't remember if Cupid is Cupid in Greek mythology or if that's Roman mythology, because he's also known as Eros. So someone else is the expert on that one. That ain't really my territory. But Two of Cups, love, right? Two people coming together, mutual feelings, mutual understanding, mutual give and take. Everybody came with something to bring to this table, to this union. So it's very interesting. Someone's slightly unavailable, but at the same time, there's definitely love there. It's just that maybe they're on this path. They're trying to get to this journey or be on this level and become unavailable. But there's still definitely, there's some love there. What's this face down card? Let's just look at it. Reverse Knight of Wands. So it's coming back around. I would say it's coming back around. In the upright, this Knight of Wands is kind of coming in fast, right? He's like not necessarily directionless, but he's coming in hot. And in the reverse, maybe not. It's maybe more of a slow process. It's the long journey. That's what I said, this long road ahead. So it's really about taking your time, taking things slow, and knowing that the love is there no matter how it progresses. Okay. So this might also apply to someone who has like maybe a crush or a connection and you're not quite in a relationship yet. I would say try not to rush anything while also recognizing that there are real feelings there. Okay. Next, we have the Queen of Wands in reverse. So earlier, I was shuffling, I just boom, scattered them everywhere. And so they are really mixed up. But I do think that a lot of these romantic situations for people right now, there is a lot of mix-up. We're also Mercury in retrograde right now, which can affect not only technology, but communication in general. I think Mercury's the god of war, right? So conflict is heavy right now. And retrograde is when a planet moves backwards. And so it can feel like a lot of counterproductive conversation. Okay? And that's kind of what I'm sensing with this Queen of Wands here. Right? I just feel like it's some non-feelings, if you will. And then we have the Nine of Wands in reverse. So the Nine of Wands in the upright, I don't want to use the phrase well endowed. Why did that come to mind? Somebody might be, but this person protecting these wands, it seems like he's in a good position because there's so much, right? But he's actually getting quite tired, might be getting kind of bored, sort of wanting something new, okay? In the reverse, I almost want to say it's just about walking away completely. Here's the thing. If you're in a relationship, this top row I think applies, right? Where it's just like maybe you need time apart or you just don't get the same kind of intimacy that you normally would. And it's simply because one or both parties is very busy. It's something personal. The feelings are still there. It's still mutual. If you are not in a relationship, I would say that there is someone, right? Potential partner, very strong connection. And so the second row, I think is just to say, for anybody really, is to avoid exes right now. It sounds stupid, it's very cliche, but if someone is considering an ex or is starting to rekindle or talk to an ex, avoid that shit. It's not, the situation isn't any different. It's just people reflecting, moving backwards, you know. This is not a good time for it. I do believe in breaks. I do think people can come back together. It's not, you know, a huge deal right now. Give it like another week before you truly decide that for yourself. Okay. It's like, now's not a good time to be making those moves or asking those questions. That's all. Even if you just want to reach out to an ex and you have no intentions, just now's not a good time to do it. Even if you're thinking about them. And then we have the reverse star. So they're all about themselves. It's just like, it's not you to be doing this. You aren't sort of in your personal best. And so there's no point reaching out. Also reverse Aquarius. 1, 2, 3. It is Aquarius season right now. So again, wait a week. Retrograde ends first day of Pisces season, which is the 19th, I think. So I'm just saying, just wait it out before you try to talk to someone from your past, right? We're talking about romance, so we are talking about romantic relationships. Wait till Aquarius season ends, okay? Bottom row is all face down. Five of Cups, Six of Cups, Six of Cups, okay? So people out, having enough. Look at this man's giving this young girl a cup because he's got a few. Maybe they're for sale. But it's going to be a time of... Oh, wait, it was in reverse. It's going to be a time of taking back, okay? When it's in the upright, it's all about giving. And if it's in the reverse, we're like, well, maybe we've been giving a little too much. Maybe we can give a little less. Maybe we don't have to put so much effort into it. Maybe we accept that people are busy. Paths might be a little different. This is a dead end, whatever. You're just kind of done putting your energy so much out there. Okay? And then we have this 5 of Pentacles. Okay, so here's another thing to recognize. We're talking about you not putting in so much effort, and then all of a sudden, you're the one who's left out in the cold. And that to you is the indication that you are putting in more effort than they are, because they're not even putting in any effort. They don't even want to keep you here, quite frankly. You know, you were like, you know what, maybe I'll just take a step back. Maybe I'll just focus on myself for a second. See what they do? They don't do shit. You're just out here wondering where the fuck they are. You know, maybe you stop contributing. They don't start contributing. If this is like if you pay bills and you're like, what if I just say I don't have the money this month? And they're like, oh, I don't either. It's like, what the fuck, dude? I got it for the last 6 months. It's your turn. That kind of thing. Okay. And then we have the reverse 6 of Swords. Okay, so in the upright, the 6 of Swords is the same kind of giving energy, only this time it's a little more negative. The 6 of Cups, this is a giving in a happy way. He's giving her flowers, you know, it's filling up someone else's cup. This 6 of Swords, this is putting in labor for someone. This is carrying them. This is like, I don't want to use the phrase emotional labor, but this is physically doing shit for someone else, okay? Whereas this is giving from your heart. This is the action behind it, right? This is beyond just giving your love and giving your attention. This is like actively helping someone. So when you put that shit in reverse, you're just kind of done. You're like, I don't want to, I'm sick of paying your bills and you not paying the bill. I don't know why I use this as an example, but it's an example. I'm sick of doing it. I'm putting in all the effort. I get nothing in return. I'm done. Right? You're not going to be the one rowing anymore. Reverse 10 of Cups. The thing about the 10 of Cups in the upright is just everything. You know, everyone's happy. They're dancing. They're praising. In the reverse, not so good of a feeling. I'm not gonna lie, this was a little darker than the other readings. This felt more like a breakup than the other ones. It could also, it could potentially be 3 different situations here. You know, like I said, if you're single, it could be 3 different people that you're deciding between, where it's like, yes, there's one very obvious true connection. Then there's one where nope, not a good idea. And then there's 3 where you still have to learn the lesson. More or less, because you obviously didn't learn that lesson with your ex because you're trying to go back to them. And so you're going to try with this person and you're going to realize, yeah, that's a dead end too, because it's the same thing. I'll give from me and no take for me. Okay. It doesn't necessarily have to be one continuous. I'm getting the sense that it's 3 different people almost. But there is love present somewhere for someone, right? It's definitely there. But there's kind of some messy situations going on. But you got to experiment. You got to start testing the limits here a little bit in your relationships, I would say. And good luck to you. I don't want to just sit here and say you're about to break up or anything, but there's definitely some shit going on. Things need to change. Boundaries need to be set. Standards needs to be held. Over here, we gave this to the masculine, this Knight of Swords. Swords is air, so air is masculine. Could be an air sign. Part of the reason I did it is just because there was double in the very beginning of the live. I just decided this was the masculine and feminine. This also came up for the feminine in the last reading, which was a lot shorter. But you can't sleep. You know, he's up and he's crying. It's like very much anxiety, depression, just not feeling well. And so all this shit might be happening. And this person is either taking it really hard or can't handle it at all. And that's how you got in the situation in the first place, where they're just very like unwell. Probably the masculine. If the feminine sounds more like in that situation, apply it as you will. It's never about sex or gender. It's more about the elements. It's about the dynamic, however you see it. And again, this can be if you're in a relationship, if you're eyeing somebody, if you have a soul bond with someone, if you are in a phase and trying to take things to the next level. This can apply to any of those things. But we are talking about a romantic dynamic here. And then on the other hand, the feminine has the Ace of Swords, which is great. Look at this gift of knowledge coming in from almost out of nowhere. It's very triumphant. It's very helpful. It's very whole. It's very fulfilling is the word I was looking for. Two totally different opposite energies here. The feminine and the masculine are on two way different pages here. Completely different pages, completely different times in their lives even. And I don't know. It just seems like there might be a lot going on, and there might be some breakups here. There could definitely be some breakups, but the love is real. So if you feel it, then you feel it, That's pretty much all I got. As I mentioned briefly earlier, this pink deck is reserved for love readings, and they will be featured on Patreon and OnlyFans starting today, because it's after midnight. That's what I meant, tonight, really. So yeah, I also did want to... I wasn't really planning on breaking out any of the other cards tonight, but I'm a little tempted to check out that Halloween oracle to see if we can connect to a Saint Valentine. Now, I say a Saint Valentine because, as it turns out, there were many Valentines. Valentine was a word. I can't remember if it's I think a Latin word, or I guess it would be a Roman Italian word, right? For like power and strength. And so a lot of people were given the title of Valentine rather than the name Valentine. So when we say Saint Valentine, we're referring to a number of saints and a number of different people. It can also be a title in, like more of a religious setting rather than, I guess saints are religious, forgive me, but more of an in-house setting rather than, I don't want to say existential, but yeah, so St. Valentine is quite a few different saints, a few different people for that reason. So I don't know, I'm feeling it. I feel like I'm going to pull out the Halloween oracle just for fun. Let's just see if we get any saint messages. I wasn't prepared, and so I got to grab them, but it just feels right to try. Now that I second guess it, right? I should have planned for it, but I didn't. So let's see if we can connect to St. Valentine, or maybe Cupid / Eros. I mean, that's the thing. If you're talking about two different mythologies, are you talking to the same deity? I'm not an expert on connecting to these things, and so I don't know the answer to that question. Is to say it's the same mean that you're connecting to the same one? I don't know. That's fun. Let's find out. Yeah, let's see if any messages come through. So St. Valentine is, whichever, is not only the patron saint of love and relationships, they are also the patron saint of epilepsy, which I find interesting. But it could also be because there's so many different stories because it's multiple people. And the patron saint, it may even be patron saint of pandemics. I cannot remember. It's pandemic, or it might just be disease in general. But I really want to say St. Valentine is the patron saint of pandemics. Can't remember though. Definitely epilepsy. Okay, so let's see. These are nice. Connecting. Looking for messages of love, romance, connection, intimacy. All I hear is, do you hear me? Ghost, regret. Your ex is probably crying. Really wishing they didn't let go. Somebody is. That's probably why there was a warning, like, do not go back to them. Lots of regret for someone. Unbreakable bonds will never be broken. What is what was. It's never a good idea to talk. I'm getting more Cupid vibes. Vampire, emotional intelligence. Okay, so here's the thing. It kind of sounds like this feels like a warning. I feel like there's only a couple of you watching, and I don't know who you are. You don't need to say who you are by any means, but someone has some regrets here, and I'm getting the sense that you are or were involved with a narcissist. I'm not trying to say you're a narcissist, but there may have been someone in a relationship previously that definitely was trying to have control over you, or you were trying to have control over them. I'm really not trying to say who's who. I'm getting the sense that it's more about an ex, so I will just go with that narrative, but just know that it could be you, okay? There's a lot of regret here, but they also try to control you, and that's the thing. It's haunting you because they're so fixated. They're like, oh, I fucked up. I wish I could fix it. I just wish they would talk to me. They may have already tried to reach out, or they don't know. They're not reaching out, but they're just thinking about you. And then zombie. It's what exactly do they regret? Because they were not very good to you is kind of the thing. They try to control you. It was very much like not good. You were better off leaving. And they're haunted by this for whatever reason. But it's haunting you too, because they haven't stopped obsessing, I'll say. And then we have vampire, emotional intelligence. Here's the thing. They haven't changed. They have not changed. They might sit here and say, oh, I'm sorry for what I did to you, but they haven't figured out how to not do it. Basically. Emotional intelligence. You have to know when someone's here to take your energy or when they're here to give it. That was the whole reading, was like, once you cut off your efforts, is any effort being made to save this, basically. If that doesn't sound like your relationship, then we're talking about an ex, right? They haven't changed. Promise. Promise. Guess it could be a current partner too, but no. You have to know when someone is draining you. Okay? Different energy here, right? We have joy, rejoicing in the present. Stay grateful, stay loving. Don't let them change who you are. If it is an ex, try not to let it get you down in your future relationships. Understand that not everyone has your worst interest in mind. Some people do genuinely care about you, and you might be with someone now who does genuinely care about you and who did manifest you and appreciates you being there. So just be grateful for what you have now, if this is what you're coming from. But try not to look back with such fondness, because this person was probably a narcissist, and it's not worth it. It's not worth it. Whether you're thinking about contacting them to check in or whatever, or if they reached out, or they might just want to reach out, do not go back. Rejoice in how far you've come. Try to remember that they really had you under their thumb, and just focus on where you're at. That being said, forgiveness, reducing the burden. Some people can't help it. Some people honestly can't help it. And the thing about saying, oh, they're a narcissist, there's a difference between being egotistical, self-centered, cocky, selfish, and being a narcissist. And the thing about narcissism is that it is considered a mental illness. And I think a lot of people use that term very loosely. And they use it in a casual context because you can maybe still be a narcissist without being diagnosed as such, right? But it is, at the end of the day, a mental illness. And so people like that may not even intentionally do it. They may not mean to be so hurtful or so controlling or so manipulative. It's in their nature. It's the way that they're wired. Now, is there always something you can do about it? Sure, maybe. They're not there yet, and you have to forgive them anyway. They might regret losing you, but they might not want to apologize or change their behavior. You know, it's like they haven't actually changed. They're just like, oh, well, you got to just forgive them, but also forget them. Focus on what you have now. Focus on who you are without them and how happy you are since then, okay? Get anything about not our exes? Jesus. Let's see what other entities want to connect. What other messages for the lovers out there? I feel like I'm hearing a song, but I don't know that I know the song. Like the sky is purple and the sun was blue. I don't know what I'm singing. It's like I can kind of hear the tune in my head, but I don't know the words, so it's hard to sing it. I don't know. The green was yellow and the sky was gray. Like I'm hearing all sorts of things. If you know what song I'm talking about, then you do. But anyway. Okay, so it's really funny because I'm still just hearing like the sun was purple, and I just feel like I'm getting a very like, I want to say psychedelic kind of vibe. It's very, there is a true love. It was very present in all the readings. I think somebody's got a trifling ass ex, and that's whatever. It's none of your business what they do, okay? But I do feel like there's some real true love in people's lives right now. And if you haven't felt it, then you're going to feel it. And I think that's part of the magic of honoring Cupid and Valentine and having a day for romance, is because it's a new cycle. It's a new cycle of love. It's a new cycle of feelings. It's not about the hallmark of the holiday. Okay, people think, oh, it's one day to honor, and that's cute. And some people are into that, and some people very much hate it because they're like, I don't need a day. Well, just a deeper meaning. It's not about buying chocolates and buying flowers. It's about love being born again, especially when you consider that it is in the midst of winter. It's almost like seeds are being planted right now. This romance, if it's not current for you, it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be immediate. This might take months, and it might not bloom until spring. But this feeling, I have no idea how to share, but thank you. This feeling right now, it may not have come out. It may not be present yet, but it's there. There is a very true love, very deep connection. For some of you, you might know who that person is. You might already be well aware of it. Even then, that connection is going to jump to new levels. Okay, very hopeful. An end to hopelessness, I'd rather say, because I think a lot of people, especially just in winter, but with the way that things are in the world right now, very easy to just feel like dismal. You have nothing to look forward to. A lot of stagnation. A lot of people staying home. People getting fed up with each other, right? So if you are in a relationship, it's like, oh Jesus, it's too much, or getting sick of being single and I'm never going to meet anyone. I don't even go outside, kind of thing, right? There is a love. Ooh, Apple, risk and reward. Put yourself out there, go for it. I'm not saying run amok, but if you got your eye on someone, make the move, because there's a good chance that there is reciprocal energy there. It's mutual. So you put the risk, you get the reward. You're waiting on them to make a move. What if they're not going to? You got to just take that shit into your own hands. That's why they're holding the apple, right? You got to make yourself vulnerable in order to be honest, right? You can't like say how you feel and expect to not be put in a position where you are exposing a part of yourself, so to speak. Ooh, Lady de los Muertos, acceptance and equality, but also you owe me a tip. That's just how this bitch works. You can call her a bitch. But half joking, half is what it is. You owe me a tip. Of any kind. She said, look at it. No other meetings, right? We love her. Thank you, lady. I'm going to go into these face down cards, probably wrap it up. We have dawn, light after the darkness, the end of hopelessness. Okay, things are going to turn around. So try to stay as positive and conscientious as you can during these times of great uncertainty that we have. Okay, skeletons, strength. Again, you need to work up the courage to take this first step. If it is a new relationship, like I said, someone you're interested in, you want to ask them out, or you've been seeing someone for a while, you want to commit to them. If you're in a committed relationship, you want to commit harder, ask them out, take them on a date, propose, get that ring, whatever it is, take that step. You don't have to do it immediately. Okay. Valentine's Day isn't always everyone's favorite, but shit, I don't know, why not? But understand that that's the phase that we're getting into as well. Stay strong, hold out, because that love will come around, okay? Be open to it. Cauldron, synergy and healing. So it's going to be about maybe taking some time to work on yourself, but also, okay, so with synergy, it's going to be all about working together, right? And co-creating something and stirring a pot so that it blends, not boils. Okay, working together, coming together. But the healing is also to admit that even if you do decide to go further into a relationship or further into a commitment, there's still some healing and some work on the self that needs to be done at the same time. And it's okay for both of those things to exist. A lot of people, well, I shouldn't say a lot of people. There's a lot of different opinions on love, okay? Some people will say, can't love anyone else till you love yourself. The thing about self-love is there's a never-ending process to becoming who we are, right? Most of us have experienced a lifetime of trauma in half of our life, right? And so there is always going to be work to do. There's always going to be work of the self. Whether or not that means you love yourself is questionable, but all I'm seeing here is that you don't have to be the perfect person to be with someone. You don't have to be your everything in your full form, if you will, in order to embark on this journey of romance and love, right? You can be a work in progress as long as you're working and making progress, more or less. So I think overall it looks good, and it's going to be about opening up to your partners, but it's also very important that you keep a balanced give or take, or it's going to collapse in on itself as it has in the past. Speaking of the past, do not talk to your ex, especially not during this retrograde, which should end on Pisces season, which will be February 19th. I'll probably be doing a live for Pisces season. That'll be my next live. And I will have some videos posted hopefully in the next few days. I have a Valentine, so I do have plans, but I think 16, 17, 18 is my normal dates for the Zodiacs. Schedule might be changing because if you missed it, I have launched a Patreon and an OnlyFans where you can get love readings weekly. This pink deck is not coming back to the YouTube channel. I just wanted to do a special night of romantic readings in honor of St. Valentine's. Should we just do them? I was just giving my little announcements, my stupid spiel, but I got more cards. Fuck it. You're still here. We have a Skull of Light illumination. Okay, so anything being kept in the dark is going to come to light, right? If you're doing some kind of sneaking around, you better cut it the fuck out. I'm going to tell you right now, because that's not going to last. You're going to get caught. They're going to get caught. Something. There might be some secrets, but this isn't about the secrets. This is about finding them out. Okay. And then we have death. The eternal cycle begins here. So again, there might be love in the air. It just might not be who you think it is. There's going to be potentially some breakups coming up this season, but at the same time, it's going to be for the best, because you can't get this higher, deeper love if you have a situation in the way. Okay, so hearth, happiness in our hearts and homes. All right, so regardless if you're single or in a relationship, it's going to be about comfort right now. It's going to be about getting cozy. It's going to be about sitting with the self or sitting with the partner, right? Especially so many people are quarantined. It's very specific to see this card. But at the same time, if you think of it romantically, it's either, again, sitting with yourself and figuring out how to love yourself through your mistakes or whatever have you. But it's also going to be about rekindling things with a current partner if you are sort of getting at each other's throats, right? It's going to be about bringing that love back in, warming up to each other again. We have the witch, the earthly weaver of the world. So again, there's this love is very strong, very present. Personally believe that it's incoming or getting stronger over the next X amount of time, right? It's not just about this one day. Okay, you might have some realizations, but you're going to see it really come to fruition. I do think that's the whole point of this day, is to honor that transition into spring, right? Like, we're sort of in the peak of winter here, but at the same time, come March, I can't remember when, there's a spring equinox, right? Every season has a little, not an equinox, a solstice, right? Right? I don't know. Come on, guys. I don't know. There's definitely some really strong bonds that have carried over, right? So it's going to be about connecting and understanding who it is. I think for someone or for some people, it's like a friend or somebody you counted out who you weren't expecting to have such a connection with or have chemistry with, and it's taking you a second where they're like already like at this realization, but you haven't figured out who it is yet necessarily. I see that for some people. Skull of stars, infinite possibilities. This love could be coming from anywhere. You have no idea. It could be this person. It could be a big turnaround, whatever. I'm just saying what the cards are saying. Winter, the sacredness of pausing. Same kind of energy as death here. It's, oh, what was this one? 5 of Wands. Yeah, embracing the journey, but also not rushing things. Okay. Like I said, these seeds are just being planted. The ground's not even thawed yet. So you might not meet this person or realize this, might happen in spring, but just know that it's happening for you, okay? Especially if you're single and looking for love. People get impatient or they try to rush things. Just know that it is there. It's very present. It is coming. And then spider, community and web weaving. Right now, you got to just focus on your connections, and you have to focus on the people that you're spending your time with, how you're spending your time, really what you're doing in life, and make sure that you are prepared to take on the position of partner or, be at your best self and be ready for things to get to the next level, regardless of if you're already in a relationship, single, or in a non-committal phase, okay, or if it is just a friend. It's really going to come back to focusing on self, but also being aware of who you're with, okay, knowing where you put your energy, knowing what's mutual and what's one-sided, right? If you go on, I think it was Facebook, I don't know, I did in Twitter and Facebook readings, so there's little pieces of the story everywhere if you want more. I have also, I didn't mention it to anyone else, so I guess whoever's watching, hi, $10 love readings for very, very limited time. Probably not going to get to them until next weekend, but they're $10, so who cares, right? Yes, you can ask a question. If you want, you can ask the question to yourself. I don't need to know the question, Cindy. If it's love related, just say love. If it's message, I mean, it's romance readings, but pink deck or Halloween oracle. And yes, I can answer a question. But I usually prefer not to know the question unless it's like personal to me. But it's lovely. Yeah. Okay. We'll do pink deck for you. I feel like it's more telling. So yeah, don't say the question, but yes, we'll get you an answer. Cindy has a question. She has a very loving question. I'm trying to receive some answers for Cindy here. Cindy has a question. We know what the question is, but we need some clarity for Cindy. We need clarity for Cindy because she has a question in mind. Something to do with love in her life. We want some clarity for Cindy. Oof, they're all face down, so there's definitely something about the situation, okay, that you're missing or you're not addressing or it needs to be addressed. Okay, they're all there's 4 face down cards and I'm not really getting much else. So the answer is not so obvious to you. More face down cards. I'm going to go with this. Pretty much all face down. I'm going to just do these 3 and then I'm going to read you these face down cards. Okay, so we have the Ace of Pentacles. Okay, so this is like a gift. Thank you. I don't know who you are, the Grim, but I really appreciate you and I love all of my very loyal clients. The Ace of Pentacles here, it's being presented as a gift. The Ace, it can be not necessarily, it doesn't have to be an inheritance, but the Pentacles can often represent money. If not money, it can just be your own stability. I feel like, Cindy, you're in a good place, I would guess. We do have the 2 of Discs. He's kind of juggling things. This is change in my deck. I don't know, caught the beginning of the reading, but I'm just using this deck tonight. I've been studying it since Christmas, but still getting, oh, hi, honey. I'm getting used to this deck. In my deck, this has changed. So, Cindy, I feel you're in a very good situation. This might be changing. And then we have the 7 of Cups. So, it's kind of changing for the better. He has a lot of options here. There's a bunch of different stuff in all these cups. And so it's a good variety. And it's really, I want to even tell you what this is telling me is that you have the upper hand no matter what. You are in a good position. So whatever this situation is or whatever you're not seeing about it, I want you to know no matter what, you're good. You know what I mean? So I don't know why I just picked this up. 6 of Pentacles. Just picked it up. He's feeding people. You know, you're in a position where you can give. Okay. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair, Cindy. I hear you. But you personally, regardless of whatever the situation is, it's definitely not you. So I would almost say, yeah, it probably has something to do with that. We have the Fool, which is in reverse. So when the Fool's upright, it's very much a journey to be embarked on, the Fool. But if it's in reverse, it's sort of like you don't want to start. There is not a beginning here. Like I said, you're in a good place. You probably have a lot of options. I think that you might be trying to force something. But it's kind of not going the way you want it to go. We have the 3 of Cups. Okay, so this is interesting because the 3 of Cups in my deck is abundance, but oh God, this one is different. It's very much different, and I cannot fully remember what exactly it means. But you can kind of see there's 3 people here. Now, I'm not trying to tell you there's a third-party situation going on, but I'm just saying the focus is definitely not on one person. It's more on a I also don't want to say a group effort, but it's very much like a lackadaisical kind of energy. It's not a party, but it's nothing serious either. Okay, and I'm just saying. And then we have the Emperor. So the Emperor is super controlling. The Emperor is maybe an Aries, very dominating force. Okay, so regardless of which energy is yours here, I'm seeing two pretty different feelings. Okay, the Three of Cups is like, I'm just trying to have a good time. The Emperor is like, I'm fucking serious as shit, bro. Right? Two totally different energies. And then we have the Page of Swords. So, okay, the Page of Swords is willing to try. Right? One person might be feeling the one way, one person might be feeling the other way. You say, okay, well, I'm willing to compromise if you are. I can give up some of this energy to give into a little bit of this if you do the same. The effort is willing to be made. It's not necessarily totally into effect at this moment, but the opportunity or the potential, that's the word I'm looking for. The potential is definitely there. It's just two different mindsets at this point. And then King of Swords. So this Page of Swords going into this King of Swords, okay, that is the effort being taken. This is the next step, right? It's two steps up, actually, because it would be the Knight if it were a step. This is like really elevating here with this King. He is putting in the work. He's seated at the throne, much like the Emperor. But as you can see, the Emperor is unmoving, unwavering, right? Whereas the Knight of Swords he's got his sword drawn. So even though they're sitting in the same position, they have two totally different energies here. As you can see, the Page of Sword also has her sword drawn, but she's still out in the battlefield, right? So the King of Swords is like, I don't want to say putting the effort into the home, but in a romantic sense, yeah, it could be kind of like that. Six of Wands. It's just about moving forward. It's just about getting past this certain point. You're just simply on two different pages, and you both are going to have to compromise if you want to be on this journey together. If you do want this to work, or if you are interested, however the chips fall for you, whichever energy is which, you both are going to need to compromise a little bit, because you're definitely not on the same page. And like I said earlier, it is Mercury retrograde. If this is a non-serious relationship, I would say wait to talk to them. Wait a week or two. Valentine's Day is hard for people who are not quite single, not quite official. Yeah, sure. I don't even know who you are. Why not? But yeah, it's going to just be about communication. It's going to be about better communication. But communication is hard right now, just because of the nature of the planet. So I would just wait if it's casual. But if you are in a serious commitment, then it's better to talk about things sooner than later. Just understand that there will need to be compromises made on both sides. Oh, that's so sweet. Yeah. Well, you got to be upfront about that, is what this is saying. Two different energies right now. Somebody just has no idea you feel that way, basically, probably. You're probably more of the Emperor in the situation, whereas they're more of the Three of Cups. Okay, so yeah, if you're feeling committed and you're feeling that, it's going to take some work and it's going to take some effort, but yeah, I would just wait a little longer, see how the next couple weeks play out, and then make your move, honey. That's what this reading was about. I don't know how long you've been tuned in, but it was all about really just like going for it, taking the first step, making the first move. So if you don't say what you want, they have no intentions of doing it, but they're probably willing to. It's just not on their mind. They're like, it's going to probably come to them as a surprise. I think the connection's good though. And I think they'll be willing to put in the work. So it's going to be about you making the first move. So I was going to end it, and then Cindy had like a little personal thing. If anyone else has a little personal thing, you don't have to tell me what it is. You just say me or whatever. Otherwise, I'm going to sign off. Love readings. These were gifted to me from my lover, so I restrict them. to love readings. I will not be doing them on YouTube. It'll be for, yeah, of course, you're welcome. I'll be on Patreon and OnlyFans doing weekly love readings. They will also include the Tarot of Sexual Magic. These are straight up inappropriate for these platforms, hence the other ones that I'm doing. All right, so these are going to be a lot of fun. You can check those out. I will have some videos posted for Valentine's Day. So love and even physical connections more than just emotional connections on the other sites. Okay, so I'll post some links, and y'all have a wonderful night. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for all the love and support. I will still be doing my usual Thoth, Demon, and Halloween Oracle readings on YouTube. There will be more videos this week, and I think I will be going live again for the start of Pisces season, which happens to be the end of retrograde. So that'll be February 19th. It was lovely. And again, all of you eligible for $10 love readings for, I don't know, next couple days. Probably busy till the weekend, so I won't be getting to them right away, but my information will be in the description, and $10 for love reading. Okay, so thank you all for tuning in. Hopefully to see you again. Thank you. Have a good night. Happy Valentine's Day.